Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday with Tonya. Thank you so much for being here with us this week for April 8th. This is going to be quite the video, and another one where I'll be grinning from ear to ear. So as I was trying to figure out, grab your coffee, grab your hot tea, grab your hot cocoa, and sit down and come spend a few minutes with me. I got so excited I forgot to tell you to grab the beverage. Anyway, so come along. This week I was trying to figure out what kind of video to do. And if you know me, I'm a planner. I have a home planner, I have a work planner. I love checklists. I love to check everything off of my lists. And this week, as I was brainstorming what to do for a video and what to show you guys to keep you excited along the way, I just decided to take a look back. And so again, I'm very good at planning, about going forward, about all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of where I am at my best. And I am not so good at stopping and taking a moment and reflecting where I've been and the process that it has taken to get here. And so as I was going through in typical Tonya fashion, I made lists, I made notes, and I was just literally overcome with gratefulness. So this is probably the 16th take to do this video. The other ones had me in tears, and so I had to stop and start over again and stop and start over again. So my goal is to get through this without crying. Not that crying is bad, but trust me, nobody needs to see tears running down my face. So this business started in September of 2023. And by business, I mean on paperwork. I finally filed with the government to get my tax ID going in September of 2023 for Fabric for Fun. So when I say we are new, we're new. And we're growing, and it has been an intense process. So this week we're going to take you through some photos and some videos and walk you through what the shop looked like as we were deciding how to put shelving units up, how many shelving units we needed. We made more than a couple of trips to the IKEA store down in the cities to purchase more shelving units and more shelving units. Funny stories that go with that we'll get into when we get to the video. It's just been a process and learning how we're going to inventory everything, learning how to store the fabric. So I have zero background in quilt stores. I don't come from a family who ever owned a quilt store. I don't come from a family who I didn't grow up in that business. I didn't grow up around a business like that. No such luck. And so my love of quilting, if you know my story, comes from my grandma. My grandmother, I think of her every single day. She was a beautiful lady, and I'm not going to cry. A beautiful lady who loved everyone and brought joy and happiness to everyone who ever knew her. So if you knew my grandma, she loved you. And so I was not the grandchild that grew up, or the child that grew up on my grandma or my mom's knee sitting in a sewing machine loving every minute of it. That was not my story, not who I was. I was outside getting dirty, playing with the boys, having fun in the country, playing on the farm, playing ball. I was not an indoor arts and crafts girly girl, not me. And so my interest in quilting and sewing came very, what I consider, late in life, when we found out that we were going to be grandparents, and our beautiful little granddaughter was going to be born. I thought, my grandchildren need to be wrapped in love like I was. So they need quilts that can wrap them up, and that they know that they are loved by their grandma, because that's what I had. And so My grandma, I bet if she quilted, if she sewed one quilt, I bet she did thousands. I'm like, I couldn't even count them. I don't know that there's anybody in my family that could count them. If my cousins are watching this, if you want to reach out to me, if any of you have any idea of how many quilts Grandma actually ever got done for all of us, you let me know, because I was the recipient of many. My children have quilts from her. In fact, I'm going to re-back one of my son's favorite quilts for like the third time and give it to my grandson. So my grandma, yeah, I have no idea how many quilts she did, but more than her fair share. My mom, on the other hand, was not a quilter. She did not enjoy that, but she was very, I don't want to say artsy craftsy, but she was very creative in fiber arts. She was able to crochet and knit anything, and so she crocheted beautiful Afghans. She crocheted everything, Christmas ornaments. For all of you that are my age and above, she did the coat hangers when that was a thing. She crocheted the soft stuff over the coat hangers. She did table runners and table toppers and all that kind of stuff. She did little curlicues that she used to tie up in my hair when she did those. There's pictures to prove that from when I was little. So my mom was very creative in a different way, but not in the quilting world. She sewed clothes. She did a lot of hemming and altering of her own clothes and for other people. She used to sew her own doll clothes when she was young. So I have her sewing machine up in my sewing room at the house that she used to tell me all the time. She used to love to sit there and sew her own doll clothes when she was a little girl. So again, that wasn't me. I didn't even like to play with dolls when I was young. So that was the one time my grandma ever got mad at me. It had to do with my cousin and dolls. And that's all we're going to say right now. Anyway, so this week we are going to take a look back at how this started, how the space has changed, that we are still growing and changing and learning every day, and that we are just so thankful. I am just so thankful all along the way. It has been an amazing journey. So for me personally, who's had no experience in this realm, this has been fast and furious and filled with fun. And the fact that I get to do it with my family, just grinning from ear to ear every single day. It is a joyful place to be. It is a happy place to be. Even when it's Mondays are crazy days, as you can imagine from all the orders that come in over the weekends. So even on a Monday when we are crazy busy shipping and everything is going nuts and we might have a few bumps in the road, I promise you, I still look around and smile, and I'm grateful my daughter is here working with me. I'm grateful that my husband has made me all these wonderful tools to help along the way. Just utterly grateful. And so we are still, September of 2023 until now, we started the first few months with Facebook only sales, and I'll get into that a little more in the video. But from then until now, we are still small, family owned and operated. I have one part-timer and she is a gem. We have had probably a half a dozen helping hands that have come through that have helped out part-time here and there, helped us get some things done that we needed to get done in a certain time frame. So we've had those wonderful people who have stepped in. We've had family and friends that have stepped in and helped out as well, and that we are super grateful for. And other than that, it is still every day who you are going to find here at the shop as me and the daughter Mary, the husband Jerry as needed, the son Derek as needed, and the daughter Jessica, she gets off easy. She gets to come in when she has a weekend off every now and again. She comes in and she does help, but she doesn't live local, and so she doesn't get a good taste of this on a daily basis like the rest of us do. But we love having her here whenever she's home. So that kind of still sums it up. So we have went from small, family-owned and operated to still small, family-owned and operated, but we went from 0 to, oh, hold on, I gotta look. So right before I'm shooting this video, I looked up just over 7,030 orders across the country in Canada. Not bad. Not bad at all. Super grateful for all of you and so thankful. And we have approaching 4,400 Facebook followers. Again, that blows my mind. So if you have not liked us and followed us on Facebook, please do so. And we have started that YouTube channel, and that, I'm told, will help us out greatly. So if you can find some time to mosey on over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button, that would help us out tremendously as well. So I promise you, the videos, the editing, the everything, the lighting and the sound will get better and better as we grow. But this part of the journey is still very new to us, and as I get more comfortable in front of the camera and behind the camera, these will improve as well. So without further ado, let's get into what this actually looked like in September of 2023, and we will walk you through all of the processes. All right, so August of 2023, I placed my very first order for fabric. September 5th, believe it or not, is when Fabric for Fun was actually official and documented. Okay, and the first pallets arrived on September 6th. I was out of state working hail for our hail company, so I was not even there when these beautiful pallets arrived. All right, this is what our offices looked like before Fabric took it over. Jerry's desk was on the left, mine on the right. Our dog is in the middle. All of that beautiful wood. My brother sells tongue and groove pine, and Jerry and I stained that all to match. Super fun. And this is our very first IKEA order. This was in October 10th of 2023. Was all of that beautiful IKEA shelving. We did shopping. And then it was just a matter of getting all those shelves up to house all of that beautiful fabric. So this is all the shelving we built in all of the spaces, just getting ready to get the fabric organized and up. A lot of work went into getting those shelves up, but I do love those, they're IKEA art all, and they are fantastic. So great view of what it was like when all those shelves were empty. And then coming up here, you're going to see some pallets in the middle of the space. We brought the pallets right on in, so it was easier to stock the shelves. All right, and this is how we used to have all of our shelves. The fabric used to be faced, if you will, and upright, and then we had to change that later on when we ran out of room doing it that way. That's our old cutting table. All right, and for shipping, we used to just ship USPS priority mail. And so we had a ton of those boxes, a ton of those envelopes, because that's when we were selling on Facebook in the groups, that is the only way that we would ship. So November of 2023, we were selling in Facebook groups all over the place. And December of 2023 through February of 2024, we did over 700 Facebook orders. So the goal of our Facebook orders was just to drive traffic eventually to our website, but we had to try and catch that customer base. All right, at the end of January, we had a bunch more pallets that came in, so more freight was coming in like crazy for us. That brings us to February, when Jerry and the great nephew built these custom carts for us to help move inventory around and pick all of these orders. All right, and that brings us to another huge milestone. March 15th, 2024. The website is finally fully functional and stocked, and we are up and running. Super, super excited. That pushes us to April 9th when we have about 13 more pallets that arrived for us. Super exciting. Bunch of the strip rolls came in, and just obviously a ton more bolts of fabric for us to get up for you guys. So we were very excited to see this inventory come in, because we were selling like crazy in the Facebook groups and had high hopes for the website to get up and running as well. Oh, that was some Tula Pink that came in on that palette you just saw there. Look, even the sun is here. Show me your scissors, Derek. Now grab the scissors we use from over there. The scissors the son uses and the scissors the daughter and the mom use. There we go. All right, look at that amazing crew. That is my daddy-o, Miss Mary, the son Derek, myself, and the hubby hub Jerry. Okay, so this is a huge milestone that we reached. As of April 18th, our goal was met, and we had shipped to every state in just over 1 month of being online, which was phenomenal. So excited. And of course, my favorite little helper, my grandson Harvey. He comes to the shop to help out with his dad, sometimes without his dad. He just likes to come and hang with Grandma and Auntie Mary and Grandpa, and he is just a hoot, and we love having him there. That brings us to a big purchase, a forklift. So the husband had to go out and buy a forklift in July of 2024. So that we can get all of this freight unloaded and stop having to pay for liftgate delivery fees all of the time. So that forklift we purchased at the beginning of July 10th. This is 11 more pallets that we had delivered. And yes, that was Mary on the forklift. So now we are in the transition phase. We are changing up how we store the fabric and how we house it. We went from laying the bolts upright to adding a ton more shelves, as you can see here, and then storing the fabric kind of lengthways in those shelving units just for inventory purposes. So that's the old way and the new way. And that brings us to some pallet racking. So we had to get some pallet racking added in the warehouse, obviously, for all of the bolts that we had coming in. So August of 2024, we added all of this pallet racking in the back for the warehouse, just in time for 23 more pallets to arrive. And so perfect timing, so we can get all of the inventory organized that we have in the warehouse and up on that pallet racking as soon as possible. So these are just some great shots and video of the warehouse space and how all those pallets are broken down now. All that inventory is sorted out, but this was just kind of in the process. All of those pallet racks are full now, and of inventory that we have taken out of those wrapped pallets and got up on pallet racking and organized by manufacturer so that it's easier for us to find. So the warehouse is looking pretty good in the back. Pallet racking makes a huge difference back there in how organized we can stay and our ability to get new inventory up, get organized, and get it done in a very timely and efficient manner. And so we know what we have and what we need. So that pallet racking has just been fantastic for us, getting it up in the warehouse.
All right, in November of 2024, we had a panel cutting party, and it was all hands on deck, and we cut panels for days and days and days and days and days on end. But it sure helps out when we're busy packaging orders. So all hands were on deck, and it got done in a timely manner, and it was fantastic relief to get all of those panels cut. All right, and here's my dad getting some orders ready and packaging for us. Mary looking super enthused at the computer. And of course, little Harvey running around with his apple, which he has to have. Derek cutting orders for us there. Looks like Jerry must be pulling orders in the background there. Oh, there's, yep, Jerry, Grandpa and Harvey having fun. As you can tell, I think he's the cutest thing ever. More packaging, and then here we go. Mary's 21st birthday celebrated at the shop. And that brings us to our final palette being delivered for 2024, big rolls of fabric.
We have a full truck and an empty recycling dumpster. Let's see how much of the dumpster we can fill. Empty truck.
Full dumpster.
Full dumpster. Empty truck. Full dumpster.
As you can imagine, we go through quite the bit of cardboard recycling with all of these bolts that we recycle every week. All right, and another project being started by Jerry. This is him building the AccuQuilt storage racks that are held in our chop shop for the custom quilt kits that we are going to be working on. So he started that project in January and then got a little sidetracked. All right, so we are sidetracked with putting together gift boxes and goodie boxes and giveaways for the first quilt retreat that I attended. So all hands on deck again to get boxes filled with fabric to give away at that first retreat. And this is a little wagon, and we had it all shrink wrapped up to carry everything for me, so it was super fun. All right, so that brings us to February of 2025 and the launch of the Sewing Project Planner. Love these. If you haven't got yours, hurry and get yours now by buying the Sewing Project Planner. In the back of the planner is a special code you can use, and only with that code will you be able to be a part of our Stampede sales that happen once a month. So if for no other reason, even if you are not a planner, I promise you the code in the back of that book is worth the cost of the book alone. And here we have the AccuQuilt racks all completed by Jerry, and it is AccuQuilt Cutting Die Move-In Day. So this was the beginning of March that we moved those into what we call the chop shop. All right, I told y'all Harvey always had to have an apple. It is his little security blanket in the form of an apple. We joke that it is his emotional support apple because he does love them. That brings us into the custom cutting table, which there is a great video up and all the work that went into that separate. And so that was a phenomenal addition to the shop, and I love it, love it, love it. And that brings us to the newest addition to the custom pieces made by Jerry. These are file cabinet toppers that he put vinyl stickers on and then stained over them and pulled it off and clear coated them, and they go on the file cabinets that then go underneath the custom cutting table. And as you can see on the table, the black inserts came in and they just make that table fabulous looking. So there you go, there you have it. And we're pushing the file cabinets back under the table just so you can see how snug they fit. There is a bar in the back there so that these cabinets fit under perfectly. and can only roll back so far. They too are on casters, so that it makes everything very movable, very easy for us to move around, get around, change up, do whatever it is that we need to do. Just locking in or pushing in those casters. I guess I didn't even lock them, I just turned the wheels in. So, in close, if you can't tell, I am filled with so much gratitude. I am simply overwhelmed with where we were to where we are, from late 2023 when we started with an empty space, no shelves, and fabric sitting on pallets out back, to now in April of 2025 with over 7,030 orders shipped. Just amazing. From not even having a Facebook business page. That started in February of 2024. 0 followers, brand new Facebook business page in February, and almost 4,400 followers today on our Facebook page. We have created a YouTube channel now. We have created quilt kits, our very own line of pre-cuts, and let's see, I am super proud we continue to be able to ship within 24 hours of your orders. Just goes to show you how hard Mary and I and Derek, my dad, my husband Jerry, how hard we work every day to get those orders out for you. So am I grateful? Yes, I am. Am I excited? Yes, I am. And am I filled with joy? You betcha. So I will end this week's video with a huge shout out and huge thank you. Thank you to all of our faithful customers who have been with us since day one, who continue to keep us busy with order after order. We are so grateful for you. For those who are new to us, we welcome you to the Fabric for Fun family, and we're so happy to be a part of this journey with you. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of your sewing or your quilting or your crafting journey. We appreciate it so much. And to those of you close to me who have helped build this over the last year, I am so thankful to be on this journey with you. Couldn't do it without you. There have been so many helping hands and people who have jumped in to help with just different pieces of this puzzle as we go along. So a shout out and a huge thank you to Mama Tiff and Annalie and Lynn. Thank you for your help and the pieces of the puzzle that you brought to Fabric for Fun. Thank you to Net, my bestie from childhood, for all of your hard work and your encouragement. Thank you to Sam. You are such a gem, and I am utterly thankful for you. To my amazing family for their support and their help along the way. Jessica, Derek, Mary, and my dad. You have built shelves, you have hauled and organized fabric, you have packaged and shipped and cooked meals, and you have loved and laughed with me all along this way. And you just do so much more for me every day. To my husband Jerry for building all the custom things, for your help daily whenever you can in the shop here, and just for your love and support from before this journey began all the way through it. I am so grateful and so blessed by you all. So this journey is just beginning, and I promise you all stick around. As they say, the best is yet to come. And from me, Tonya Ann at Fabric for Fun, as always, joyful sewing, everyone.